Whee! You hope one day to be rich enough to quit your job and draw manga while listening to me live. Aw. I mean, I hope that for you too. Like, I'm currently living my dream here. Every time my work makes me mad, I try like a get-rich-quick scheme. Or at least, boy, I hate working for somebody else. Making them absolutely rich while they try to convince me that I deserve regional average pay. Meanwhile, regional average pay, absolutely nothing. Whoop. What am I doing? Heading back to my base. Do I want to do that? Yeah. I want to set up the master database. And so recently, weird economic factors had resulted in my work treating me very, very poorly. They're like, the economy's bad, we can't give you cost of living adjustments. Please, let me put fuel in my car. Thank you. And I was like, you know what? Nah, that's not okay. Software engineers always get the blame from middle management. That's why you learn to zone it out and not care about work. Yeah. I mean, they don't pay me double when the economy is good. They really killed my work ethic there. Like, you can't just skip 4 years of cost of living adjustments. How do I get out of here? Seems like this way? Somewhere around here. I'll drive in that general area. Find a ramp. There we go. So like my go-to habit used to be to like make like a mobile game or something whenever they treated me poorly, and I'd hope that they would take off. But I'd been working on like the last video game for a long time. Whoop. And then Steam Replay came out, and it dawned on me, well, it was spelled out for me that I spend 40 hours a week playing video games, despite having a full-time job, despite having kids, and despite trying to do a side project at the same time. And so I was like, man, if I can't get myself to focus enough on making games, like, I'm never gonna get out of here. And so I'm like, if I'm just gonna play 40 hours a week, I might as well just turn on a camera and let other people hang out, right? And so that's how my streaming career got started. And I was like, maybe I'll be people will tolerate me enough that they'll hang out with me and we'll have a good time. And maybe I'll make, I don't know, like $50. And that was my estimate for the first year. I was like, I'm gonna make like $50 And I think that's enough to keep me going. But just to, like, put things in perspective to, like, show how much I've grown. Like, this month alone, I've made like $80 or $90. Like, it's still not like enough to live on, but like the growth do be growing. Like it's enough that makes me think like, yeah, I could actually probably do this for a living. As long as I keep working on making the stream a better place. And here, let's launch myself up to space so I can get some fresh air and clear my head and communicate properly. I'm thinking over there, the master crater base. Like, the crater lake seems pretty flat, and I feel like this is kind of the center of the map. I could build the master crater base along the cliff here. I don't know, I should probably put it in like an open field, like over here or something. So many places. Or maybe I build it down here on top of the water. Because the good thing about water is at least I know I've got a nice flat surface area to work with. But I can always build foundations and make it flat. Maybe what I do... Sorry, getting closer. I'm seeing there's a lot of trees there I don't want to deal with. There's probably a lot of trees over there, they just haven't spawned in yet. Used to be motivated to produce high quality work, but you found that actually caused stress because scrum managers just get in the way and blame devs. Rocking a hard place? Oh, it depends how you work. Or where you work. My scrum masters have always been really good. Like, I live in one, or I work in like one of those like super happy culture software kind of places, which is really weird in the financial industry, but like the general idea is everyone's happy. We play hacky sack during our mandatory hacky sack breaks. And no one cares as long as you get the work done. But like, nobody wants to lose the culture, so you work extra hard. But the thing is, you gotta pay us too. Like, I'll take a 20K hit for a good company culture. Like, I could work in other places that treat me poorly. That pay more, but ugh. Plus, as much as I complain about the place, my pay has increased a lot over the years. Like, when I started there, they were paying me like 40K. And over the years, as like the company grew, like every now and then my salary would do huge increases. They've stopped doing it recently. And I'm trying to convince management, like, no, you gotta keep up. You can't just pay Like, well, anyway, sorry. I shouldn't complain about my wages too much. Granted, like, during this time, I bought a house, and I had kids, and I have a wife who has non-marketable degrees. And so I'm basically supporting 4 people on the income. So it feels about the same as it did when I had like 40K to myself. Work hard, no. Work smart, yeah. This is a pretty place. That's a giant radioactive monster. Now, where's a good place to drop 130 storage crates? That area looks a little poisonous. That area looks a little poisonous. High cost of living area? No, actually. I live out in the bayou. It's a swamp out here. Part of the reason I live here is for the low cost of living. Like, what part of my problem is I can't go home. Like, my homeland, Montana, is turned into a retirement community. Housing costs have gone way up, way beyond what like work will pay up there. And so like you can only move back to my hometown to retire. It seems to be radioactive over here. It's no good. Who sees me? This seems like an interesting place to build a cratabase. What do you think? Why am I reloading constantly? Expected the rifle to do a little more damage than that, but I guess I'll take the rapid fire. Do I eat Cajun food? Occasionally. I mean, I'm a little bit of a foodie. I'll eat anything. I mean, there was, I did have the opportunity to eat ox brains once, and I did kind of chicken out of that. But I think that's the only food I've ever actively turned down. Let me get up high. But most food I've never turned down, and I've eaten a few things without knowing what they were. I ate something in South Korea that gave me nightmares once. I think it was a combination of mushroom and squid. Like, it had that squiddy texture, and then there was like this weird... It kind of felt like the underside of a mushroom, like the spore releasing bits. And the thing gave me nightmares, because I kept having nightmares about zombie scorpions, which, you know, aren't a real thing. So that's kind of like what the texture made me think of. And not knowing what it actually was. What are you? Well, that was fun. You ate raw pork once? It was good, but never do it again. Bad idea in general. Don't try this at home, but raw pork's a lot less bad for you than you might think. In most cases, it won't make you sick. Like, it's about the same category as like beef these days. You can eat beef pretty close to raw without much consequence. Like, you could eat rare pork and it would probably be fine. I'm not exactly sure how the food sciences work around it, but like, I wouldn't recommend it. Personally, I think like rare food tastes just awful. Now like rare chicken, that'll kill you. Pork's just not as bad as many other things. Hey, I wanted to stand up there just slightly. Nope. Hey, fine. But I like pork. The South has taught me how to cook pork well. Or maybe not well. I do kind of obliterate it a little bit. This area is kind of nice and flat. Would this be a good spot for a crate base? Like, it might be smart to put it like down low somewhere, so that theoretically people could drive to it. I've never been here. No one's ever been here. And there's my fun corkscrew train. I don't know, with all these trees. Doesn't feel like the best place in the world. The risk of worms and parasites, though, bacteria, no problem. Was eating like eating the sushi version of meat? Yeah, just... I mean, just don't. Like, food tastes so much better cooked. Like, I've never eaten raw food and I was like, I prefer this to cook. Like, even sushi and sashimi and things like that. I'm like, you know, you could have cooked this fish and then put it on the rice, and I think it would taste better. Like, I don't understand. I feel like people are like, no, it's better this way, but is it though? Oh. Is that uranium? Is that why I'm dying? Hmm. A lot of critters in this jungle. Alright, I think I'm beginning to decide on the location for the crate base. I think maybe down here in the watery area, or this beach area, and we could have it going around the cliffside here. And we can use the cliff kind of to our advantage to like run trains through and stuff.